Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Man shoots up taxi on Mountain View Avenue, leaving one dead. Two persons were shot, one fatally, after a gunman opened fire on a taxi in which they were traveling along Mountain Avenue in St. Andrew on Thursday. The identity of the deceased man has not yet been ascertained. Reports on the incident are sketchy, but it is understood that about 7 p.m., a man stopped the taxi as it traveled along a section of Mountain View Avenue. When the vehicle came to a stop close by where the man was, he reportedly pulled a firearm and opened fire, hitting two of the passengers in the vehicle before fleeing the scene. The wounded persons, a man and a woman, were assisted to hospital. On their arrival, the man was pronounced dead while the woman was hospitalized. Her condition is unclear. A motive for the gun attack has not yet been established by investigators. JLP supporters asked to stay away from Garden House on February 18. Deputy leader of the governing Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, Desmond McKenzie, is appealing to the party supporters to stay away from Garden House on Thursday, February 18, which will mark the traditional state opening of Parliament. Supporters of both the JLP and the opposition party PNP normally turn out in large numbers to cheer on their favorite senior politicians. However, the opening of Parliament to signal the start of the 2021-2022 fiscal year is planned to be marked differently this time around, as the country is in the midst of a surge in COVID-19 cases, which as of Thursday stood at 18,527 with 368 deaths. With most parishes showing increase in cases and some hospitals being under pressure, Mackenzie asks that the JLP supporters heed the call to stay home and not gather to support their senators and members of parliament as is customary. The highlight of the state opening of Parliament is the throne speech, which is delivered by the Governor-General and which outlined the government's priorities for the fiscal year, which begins on April 1. The new budget is also to be tabled on the same day as the ceremonial opening of Parliament. 20 communities with most active COVID cases, 6 in St. Catherine. 6 of the top 20 communities across the island with a worrying number of active cases of COVID-19 up to February 9 are located in the parish of St. Catherine, with 3 of the 6 being in Portmore alone. The numbers were presented on Thursday during a virtual press conference hosted by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. The 6 St. Catherine communities are Greater Portmore, which has 27 active cases from a total of 382 infections, Passage Fort with 15 active cases from 81 overall, Linston, which has 26 cases from a total of 220, Old Harbour with 14 active cases from 242, Spanish Town Central with 21 from 177 overall, and Gregory Park, which has 19 active cases from a total of 131. Of the remaining communities, 4 are located in Manchester, which has over the past 2 weeks emerged as the epicenter of the COVID-19 pandemic in Jamaica. The 4 parish communities are Mandeville, Christiana 20 active, Colleyville 18 active, and North Patrick 14 active. In St. Andrew, the Constant Spring community has 24 active cases, while Meadowbrook Havendale combined has 14 cases that are active. In Kingston, the community of Rockford has 16 active cases. Over in St. James, which is one of the hardest hit parishes outside of Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine and Manchester, there are 15 active cases in the Bow community, while the Montego Bay Business District has 15 cases. The other communities which are in the top 20 are Hopewell in Hanover with 15, Waiterby Trelawney with 26, Spalding Clarendon with 20, Grantham Clarendon with 17, and Runaway Bay St. Anne with 16. Getaway driver in church murder wants to plead guilty. The alleged getaway driver charged in the fatal shooting of Andrea Lowe-Garwood inside a Trelawney church is now in talks with the prosecution to enter a plea agreement. It all goes to plan. That deal could be struck before the accused Leon Hines next appear in the Home Circuit Court on Thursday, February 18. This may clear the way for the 20-something-year-old accused to plead guilty then. Defense attorney Michael Hemmings said that discussion with the prosecution was in an advanced stage. Hemmings said that Hines wanted to help the court in the matter and that Hines was confident that whatever arrangement struck would be in his best interest as well. Hines, who was held in Kingston, appeared in the Home Circuit Court this morning, where he was remanded until next week. The prosecution told the court this morning that a document prepared for Hines to sign will have to be amended in light of a new statement obtained by the Crown. Hines is charged with murder, illegal possession of firearm, accessory before the fact, accessory after the fact, conspiracy to commit murder, and misprision of felony. The other accused are 29-year-old Javon Janoy Garwood, who is charged with murder and conspiracy to commit murder, and Dwight Brigham, who is charged with murder and illegal possession of firearm. Those men are to appear before the Trelawney Parish Court on Monday, February 15. 51-year-old Lowe-Garwood was shot to death during a worship session at the Agape Christian Fellowship Church in Falmouth, Trelawney on January 31. High rate of COVID infections among local healthcare workers. Of the 2,211 Jamaican healthcare workers who have been tested for COVID-19 since the beginning of the pandemic, 513 have returned positive results, according to the country's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Jacqueline Mackenzie. The CMO made the disclosure while responding to questions during a virtual press conference hosted by the Ministry of Health and Wellness on Thursday to give an update on the government's response to the crisis. The high number of positive cases among health worker personnel means that the positivity rate among the critical frontline workers is roughly 23.2%. This is a worrying statistics, as it usually means that apart from those who test positive for the coronavirus, several other doctors, nurses, other hospital staff with whom they work, as well as contact tracers and administrative staff, among others, are forced to quarantine for a period of time, thus putting additional pressure on the already stretched health system. The positivity rate among the general population is currently slightly lower than among healthcare workers, as the country experiencing a surge in cases, which has seen total infections jump to 18,527 as of Thursday. With 5 new deaths reported among the 290 new infections on Thursday, the overall death toll for the island now stands at 368. There are now 12,504 recoveries, with 5,465 active cases. The parishes of Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. James and Manchester continue to rake up a high number of cases, while in recent days, Trelawney and Hanover have also seen an uptick in cases. Earlier this week, it was reported that 27 employees of the Theatre and High Dependency Unit at the Mandeville Regional Hospital had tested positive for COVID-19. The 27 make up 30% of the full complement needed to man the unit. The shortage of manpower resulted in a shutdown of elective surgical operations. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.